Hello guys, this is fairbinaryoptions.com. So let me write here that this is fairbinaryoptions.com, and we are looking at the Great Britain pound US dollar. Now it has been a while since we treated the Great Britain pound US dollar, and this is a 4-hour chart, as you can see, and we are looking at this pattern as being a bit bearish going into the next week. You might say, how come this is bearish? Well, it resembles, first of all, with a rising wedge here. If you look here, you might have a rising wedge, something like this, okay, with price piercing the upper trend line and now heading for the lower trend line. So basically you should look for the 1 to 3 and 2 to 4 trend line, and now look for price for the 2 to 4 trend line to break it. So it should be, let's say, bearish starting next week. Then you might look at the potential inverse head and shoulder, which has the measure move already completed. If you take a trend line from here and you go for these lines like this, as you can see, head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulder are not always like in the books or the trading books you might find over the internet or you trade, and they are not always horizontals. But this one, as you can see, is quite a bit on the left side, but nevertheless very much true, with price breaking to the upside, retesting, and then flying higher. So if you look at the measure move here and you apply the measure move to the upside, you will see that there is no let's say by chance that price hesitates at the current highs. So the current highs, if you look here, are 163.65. What to look next for? Well, what to look next is to try to imagine that this line here, let me clone it and put it on the, okay, not like this, but then let's try to project it on the right side like this. This line most likely needs to be retested, and at least going for the beginning of next week into the trading, into the Bank of England and into the NFP for the end of the week. So what I'm looking for going for next week is at the beginning of the week to look into buying put options buying put options with end of day expiration date for the beginning of the week, that being on Monday, on Tuesday, depends very much on how price is behaving. Ideally we're looking for price to break this 2 to 4 trend line to the downside. This would be a confirmation that something is happening into the right direction, and then I would be extremely careful when and if price reaches this trend line. If this trend line is being reached until the non-farm payrolls, or after Bank of England comes and until the non-farm payrolls, then there is the chance for price to bounce here quite strongly to the upside. It remains to be seen. In terms of value at waves, all eyes should be on this move to the upside, as it looks corrective. It looks like an A, B, and then a C wave to the upside. So it remains to be seen. To start the week, next week, we are looking to buy put options with end of the expiration date and wait for that to happen, or wait for the trigger to be this trend line here, and this trend line here needs to be broken. Let me draw it correctly, not from there but from here. Needs to be broken, and by the time it is broken, looking to buy put options with end of day expiration date. Well, this is just pattern within a pattern. As you can see, we have an inverse head and shoulder, which is a reversal pattern with the measure move that has just been touched this Friday, and we also have a rising wedge with let's say the 2 to 4 trend line not broken yet, but about to be broken. If the 2 to 4 trend line is going to be broken, then it should be noted that there is a strong tendency for price to retrace 50% of the whole move. So just measure the whole wedge from the lows here to the highs here, like this, and then apply 50% of the move from here to here, and there is a strong tendency for price to come to 50%, so basically to this area. So 162.58, 100 pips lower in less than the time taken for the whole wedge to form. Well, this is the time taken for the whole wedge to form, and less than the time taken, so basically just taking and projecting the time element on the right side, something like this to be exactly, and then this move or this target here should come in less than the time taken for the whole wedge to form. It remains to be seen. This is our educated guess, and keep in mind this is fairbinaryoptions.com. We are trading binary options, and all these recommendations are possible due to the help of our general sponsor here, Lion Eye.